The past 4 days have just been a blur. It's an honor to be able to represent Decker this way, indirectly and not on purpose. Todd wrote that article so well in Overdrive. I mean, he made me sound like a saint, and all I was doing was just what I wanted to do. I had no idea that when I put this original post up in a truck cooking group in Facebook, the principle behind the Overdrive was because everybody was using their CB, which is something that is far few and in between now, unfortunately. And then coming together as a group, and not just for one time, but I mean, the first night we had 10 people. By the end of the second day, we had 12, and it was just, we had everybody from people that had been in the industry for less than a year to people who have been there in there longer than I've been alive. Company drivers, owner operators, team, everything from flatbed to reefer to specialized. But I've just perfected it over the years. It's a lot of burnt meals, a lot of salty meals, a lot of meals that weren't very appetizing, but I had to eat them. Learning what flavors go with what. And then I started stepping into different types of ethnic cooking and finding out, what goes good with that. And then I would start blending it, Asian with Latin food. Or, okay, for instance, tonight I'm going to be making Korean barbecue pork belly and sauteed vegetables. That's my supper tonight once I get stopped. Working around expiration dates and trying to meal plan is very, very important. I mean, we're already limited enough our space in these trucks as it is. So, making best use of your space. I mean, as you can see back here, that's all cooking equipment and ingredients, shelf-stable stuff. Above my head is all different types of ingredients, sauces, versatility. If I'm gonna make a big meal that I know that I'm only gonna eat, I make sure I make it the first time that I cook it in a way that I can use it in other things afterwards. Things happen during the day where, you're held up at a shipper or receiver, or in my case, say your load takes forever to secure and you weren't planning on that. And then by the time you're done, you're exhausted and you don't want to cook. But if you don't cook what you have, it goes bad. So then you're like, do I stay up and cook? Or do I just make something simple and take the loss? Food has always been my first love. And being able to cook sometimes will allow me to be able to disconnect from whatever kind of crappy day I had and just focus on what I'm doing and forget about everything else. Decker has allowed this and actually supports it. That also helps immensely too, because unfortunately there's some trucking companies out there who, whether it's for capacity reasons, being able to haul what they have to haul, they can't have some of the equipment, so some of these recipes that I put out are going to be, strictly 12 volt only, whether it's in a lunchbox cooker. Food doesn't have to look fancy to taste good. I want to focus again on also meal prep at home too, though. Prepping individual cooked ingredients that you can keep in your fridge, and you can take those cooked ingredients, combine together, and have a finished meal. You can go as far as complicated or as simple as you want. You could go as far as preparing each individual meal, put it into the Tupperwares, and taking 5 or 7 of those with you in your fridge, and you've got a week's worth of food done. You don't have to do anything but warm it up. Or you could take and cook the individual components that take time to cook and pre-cook them, and then into the portion sizes you want, and then combine your ingredients to simply use your microwave. I mean, and there's always going to be people that just don't want to cook. It's not that they can't cook, they just don't want to. And that's fine. I mean, there's times that I treat myself, depending on where I'm at. Decker has, in my opinion, the best of everything in the right proportions, whether you're a company driver or whether you're a lease purchase. When you look at the whole picture, Decker has everything anybody that's in this industry could ever want. And that's why I stay, because I feel like family. I'm happy to be able to tell people that I work for Decker